If you're thinking about moving to the Orlando, Florida area and you're trying to decide just where you want to move, then you're going to want to stick around, because today I'll be addressing 5 things that you're going to want to know before moving to Victoria Park in DeLand, Florida, which I think is the best suburb in all of Orlando. Okay, so I'm here now in Victoria Oaks, which is the brand new section of all of Victoria Park. Right here by the pool, the playground, and the volleyball courts. So Victoria Park is in the southeast section of DeLand, probably less than 2 miles from I-4. We're about 10 minutes to downtown DeLand, which is a fantastic place where my wife and I spend a lot of time. We're there eating at one of the many restaurants or shops, or this weekend it was ice cream. There's the Athens Theater, which is fantastic, and Stetson University brings a lot of culture to our town. DeLand is located south of De Leon Springs and north of Orange City in Volusia County, Florida. We're probably 30-35 minutes west of Daytona and New Smyrna beaches, probably 45 minutes northeast of Orlando, and probably an hour to Disney, SeaWorld, Epic University, or any of the hundreds of other attractions that you'll find here in the Orlando area. So I'm here now at Crestwind at Victoria Gardens, or as I call it, the Gardens, and here I'm going to answer the question, what is Victoria Park? Well, Victoria Park is a master plan community of 5 neighborhoods built, I'm just going to say the early 2000s. Currently, I'm in the Gardens, 55 plus. It's a gated section on the northeast section of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and Orange Camp Road. Victoria Commons is on the southeast quadrant, and it has all sorts of shops, has some great restaurants. I really love Murph's right there. Has some medical facilities, which make the Commons a very desirable thing, because a lot of times you're going there and you're driving like half a mile away. There's a real nice lake there, and the Commons also have some townhomes. Now, the larger Victoria Park is almost exclusively single-family residential, except for those townhomes. Now, Victoria Trails has a lot of 3-car garages, has some ponds, and it has some trails that kind of walk that you can take through the neighborhood, and it's on the northwest quadrant of those roads, as I spoke of a few minutes ago. Victoria Oaks, where we just were, is the brand new section that was built out by D.R. Horton, and it's further up on the northeast side of up near Taylor and Blue Lake Road, on the south side of Blue Lake Road. Now, they are still building, so if you're interested in a new construction home, be it in the Oaks, or you're looking for new construction anywhere here in the area, or for that matter, even if you're just looking for a home here in the DeLand area, simply reach out, because we know what's going on, where we can find new construction, what areas are good, and those types of things that you just can't learn online. Lastly, we're talking about Victoria Hills, which is on the southwest section, which kind of has a bit of a northern feel to it. There's more custom homes in there as well. And we're going to talk about the price of these homes a little bit later in the video, so hang tight for that. And in Victoria Park, there's a fantastic 18-hole par 72 championship golf course that was designed by Ron Garl, and as part of the Victoria Hills Golf Club. There's also a driving range there, and it'll cost you $30 or $40 as I record this today for a tee time. In that clubhouse there at the golf club, you'll have Sparrow's Grill, which is a fantastic little restaurant, and they also do all sorts of tournaments there, and you can do weddings, which is pretty nice. So I'm here now in front of Victoria Lake and Victoria Commons, and we're going to talk about how Victoria Park is not a perfect community. Number one reason, traffic. The traffic has gotten really bad, not only here close to I-4, but throughout the DeLand area. They did put in a roundabout, which is a great idea, but that thing is scary, and it's between here and I-4, and sometimes you just go around and around in that thing, just afraid to get off. It took me a good while to figure out how to do that. Maybe I'm just too old, maybe I'm getting paranoid, I don't know, but it is a small issue for some of you. And the trees, let's talk about the trees. Now, the trees throughout Victoria Park are absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can see, but I'm here under some great big magnolias, very fragrant, and they're wonderful. And it wasn't the case several years ago when they built out Victoria Park, because there were no trees, and then I complained about the trees because there weren't any, they were all small. Well, today these trees, they're growing big and beautiful, and what we're finding is that they are popping up the sidewalks all over the place. And then then they need to come along and cut those sidewalks off, but until they actually do that, it can be a trip hazard, and it's pretty serious, especially maybe if you're riding a bike. Next, let's talk about the Homeowners Association. Well, homeowners associations are always issues no matter where you go. but they're especially an issue here in Victoria Oaks. Throughout Victoria Park, they're having water issues, and it just seems like the HOA is rising. There's all kinds of drama surrounding them. Some of Victoria Park is a cookie cutter community. That's the big part of it too. More so in the Oaks, I'd say, is here in the commons and in the trails and in the hills and in the gardens. It's not so much a cookie cutter anymore because of these trees, but it still has a bit of a cookie cutter feel, but it's much worse in the Oaks than it is in other areas. If you want to know which one is, the best neighborhood for you, simply give us a call and we'll help you determine which is best for you, because they do tend to handle different types of people. Lastly, it goes back to that homeowner association, and it's the leaders. Look, Karen HOA leaders are a real thing. It's a real problem. Now, the flip side of that homeowner association is that, look, if you comply with the homeowner association rules, if you comply with the colors of your home and you do all the right things and jump through all the right hoops, look, Victoria Park might be a fantastic community for you. So I'm here now in Victoria Hills, and behind me you'll see the golf course. It's a fantastic championship golf course. The HOA, we spoke about it a minute ago and how bad it was, but it includes high-speed internet, cable, irrigation, and maintenance of the grounds, and several walking trails. Now, throughout Victoria Park, as you come through here, you're going to see a lot of people taking advantage of those trails and these sidewalks because they're really nice. The HOA will get you access to, at the very minimum, of 2 pools and 2 gyms for every single person. Now, I say a minimum because those in Victoria Gardens, the 55-plus gated community, also gets you access to every other clubhouse and pool throughout Victoria Park. In the gardens, you're also going to get exterior maintenance, lawn, and landscaping, which is a fantastic feature. Gardens residents are older because they're 55 plus, and it's a real feature, a real reason that so many people choose to be in the gardens. In addition, in the gardens, they also get the activity center, which is really nice. They have a full-time staff person on staff just to take care of activities. There's a restaurant, there's a pool, there's several pickleball courts, there's a putting green, and some unpaved walking trails, which are really nice. Now, the HOA does not cover the golfing in Victoria Hills, but there's a website that covers that. So now we're here in Victoria Trails, a little park area, kind of in the middle of a bunch of homes. Very nice here. We have 68 homes here in Victoria Park that are either active, under contract, or sold within the last 6 months between $300,000 and $400,000. Quite affordable. We have 33 homes that are active, under contract, or sold within the last 6 months between $400,000 and $500,000. And for that same statistic, we have 18 homes that are over $500,000. So you see that homes in Victoria Park are really quite affordable compared to the rest of the nation. Taxes here, they have been rising quite a bit, and because of the rising property taxes that we've been facing, along with rising insurance, auto insurance and homeowners insurance, we're now ranking among the middle of the pack for cost of living ratings throughout the nation. One advantage that we still have is that there's no state income tax here in the state of Florida. So now that we've gone through all these details, let's head back to my office, and I'm going to show you how DeLand's Victoria Park is laid out so that you can determine where, or even if, Victoria Park is where you want to be. Okay, so now we're back in the air conditioning in my office. It feels much, much better. It was getting hot out there. And now we're going to take a look at a map view to show you exactly where Victoria Park is in relation to other things like Orlando, airports, the attractions, and all that. So as we zoom in just a bit here, we're going to see that Orlando is in the central part of the state, and you're going to see DeLand is up here, about a little ways up north from it. You're going to see down right in this area here is where the Orlando International Airport is. Sanford International Airport is up here. Both of them are good to fly into. Orlando International Airport is going to have much more traffic. It's also going to be less expensive. Sanford is great with Allegiant. If you fly Allegiant, that's a great way to go. We love it. And it's a much better ride if you're flying into DeLand. The attractions, the Disney attractions, are down here, down on the southwest side of town. And then over to let's zoom in a little bit towards DeLand, where Victoria Park is. And right off 44, you'll see New Smyrna Beach, Edgewater, and then Ponce Inlet, Port Orange, Daytona Beach, and then eventually Ormond Beach. And then if you come way up further, you'll see St. Augustine, which is America's oldest city. So let's talk about DeLand a little bit more in depth. You're going to see the St. Johns River out here on the west side of town. This is Lake County out here, but it's still DeLand for a good ways until about this section here. You'll also note that I mentioned Orange City before. You're going to see Orange City somewhere here to the south. Right here is Orange City, and DeLand Springs is up to the north of us. So you'll see all the busyness in this area kind of ends at DeLand Springs, so to speak. Up here, there's Highway 40, a lot of country, Lake George State Forest, and the Ocala National Forest is up here, and there's Lake George, of course, way up there. But let's zoom in on Victoria Park down here in the southeast section of town. And you're going to see on the the southeast corner, you're going to see Victoria Commons and all those little shops and little restaurants. There's the Village Cafe, and Murph's is right there, little ice cream shop. And then over here, Bronx Pizza and several medical places are right in here, which are quite nice. As you head back through there, down Victoria Commons, you'll see some of these townhomes that I spoke of. Everything else in here in the Commons is primarily single-family residential homes. And there's Victoria Lake. I believe I was on Victoria Lake earlier. And so let's head across Martin Luther King Jr. and you'll see Victoria Hills. Now, Victoria Hills, in my mind, is a little bit nicer than the Commons. Tends to be a little bit pricier, but I suspect there's bigger lots, just a little bit nicer, and you'll see the golf course throughout here. Now, the Victoria Hills Golf Club is very nice. They have great meals in there, and it's just a nice little place. As we look up on the north side of this, see this quadrant, Martin Luther King Jr. and Orange Camp Road. Here comes over to I-4, so super close right here. This right here, let me see. The roundabout that I was talking about is right here. Let me zoom in on it. Right here, this new roundabout. It's a blessing that they put it in, because before it was there, it was always stacked up. So anyways, we talked about the Commons, we talked about Victoria Hills. Next, let's talk about Victoria Gardens, or Crestwind at Victoria. 55 plus gated community is primarily this whole quadrant up here, okay? And we've drove around in this here. You'll see a lot of the homes in here that we drove around in. And there's the pickleball courts. I'll zoom in on there. Pickleball courts, the pool, and the parking, and the clubhouse or community center is right there. Very nice little area. And again, that's 55 plus and gated. And then on the the northeast quadrant is Victoria Trails. And it's pretty similar to the Hills, I'd say, without the golf course. Not too much else going on in there, but nice homes. So you see that they're all right together. I guess I should speak to Victoria Oaks, which is right up here just north over here at Taylor and Blue Lake, just a little ways away. Now, as you look at this here, you're going to see that these are all empty. Well, they're just about built out now. This is an old map, and so Google just isn't quite keeping up on it. But that is the gist of our area. And so if you have questions, or you want to be, maybe you want to be closer to the St. Johns River, maybe you want to be closer to downtown, historic downtown DeLand, which I didn't even speak to, which is right up here in this area. All sorts of wonderful restaurants. I have another video on my channel with some of the best restaurants in the area, but Stetson University is right up here. So you're probably just 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes from Victoria Hills. So if you have additional questions, reach out. If you want to know the right place to be, we got your back. Thanks for watching.